What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Veteran and Rookie Podcast. We are back at David's house 1 week later, and we are here to go through the AFC. Ready to rock and roll?
We're so ready.
Go tune into last week's episode if you want to, see how we did this last week with the NFC. We went through the whole thing, kind of focusing on the draft, but then also talking a little bit about their free agency moves and giving kind of like rough, way too early predictions for their records. So without further ado, let's hop right into this.
Yeah, I think we can start with the AFC West.
Yeah.
Now, this team was so hyped up last year, and it just did not perform, and I totally called it.
Oh, boy.
You did, on accident.
I did. I said they'd have a 4-13. They had a 5-12. Of course, I'm talking about the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, what did you think?
Well,
Man, they were bad last year, weren't they? Let's ride.
they really, oh my gosh, stop.
Let's ride.
Rock and roll, man.
Right to 5-12, baby.
Okay, so they did some great things in the offseason. They got Ben Powers. They got Mike McGlinchey. Two great offensive linemen. One from the Ravens, one from the Niners. So did they get help for Russ? They did, probably in the most boring and best way possible.
Arthur Blank would not be about that.
They also got... They also got a head coach. They actually have a competent head coach this time.
Yeah, that helps.
A proven one at that. I think that, I think that he could fix Russ. I think he can fix Russ. But
Do you think he will?
That's the thing. I'm not hearing a whole lot of buzz going on from the Broncos. There's not a lot of drama going on there. That's good.
Yep.
Very good sign. I think that's exactly what Sean Payton wants.
Right?
That's exactly what you'd want from this. I don't think they're done. I think they might move a few of their wide receivers. They drafted a wide receiver in the second round. They got probably the best linebacker, in my opinion, true linebacker, an athletic linebacker. They got Drew Sanders from Arkansas in the third round. Big steal. I thought that the Broncos did well with what they had.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Riley Moss in the third round.
Good
First
pick.
white corner in the NFL in 20 years.
Ooh, let's get it.
This is a big move for us, boys.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah, he's going to be on the practice squad I think, by week 4 or whatever.
Stop, man. They got safety and is that a corner?
Center.
Center.
Oh, center. I'm
Yep.
dumb.
They needed it. They needed a center. I'm glad they got that. I think them really focusing on the line was what they needed to do. Russell Wilson won't be under. He shouldn't be under pressure every single snap now, and Sean Payton hopefully can fix him. And so, yeah, I think the Broncos are a mystery. They went 5-12 this last year. They were dead last in their division. A lot of things have happened in their division, though. A lot of things have changed, specifically with the Raiders. So, like, what do you guys think of the Broncos will do this year?
I think they're going to be a little bit better, but
Give me 7 wins.
that's what I was going to say too. 7-10. Like I don't trust Sean Payton to fix Russell Wilson. It's not a Sean Payton issue. It's a Russell Wilson issue for me.
That's for Russ.
Right? And I don't know if you can fix him, but
10-7.
10-7,
really?
That's a wild card spot right
I
there.
have them going 10-7.
I could see that, but I don't know.
I could see it, but I don't. It's not what I could see first.
Sure.
Like I could see other things happening first, like Russ not getting fixed, and
And then you're stuck with that
stuck with Russell
for at
Wilson
least the
doing
season.
that.
I mean,
Good point.
they could bite the bullet after the season, and maybe they will if Russ is still bad. But
Who's to say?
It's all about, once again, it's all about QB.
yep,
It's all about QB. I think they have their ownership thing figured out. Their Walmart now owns
Mr.
them.
Walmart.
Yep, Mr. Wally World now owns them. They have the coach finally figured out. Do they have the quarterback? And that's where everybody doubts that they do because of what we saw last year. But was that the coach? Or was that the quarterback? Obviously, a big portion of it was the quarterback's fault. We know that.
That's a team effort right there.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw Russell Wilson making bad plays. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say Sean Payton fixes him. I'm going to say that.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you.
Good for Denver.
I'll probably be wrong, but yeah.
That's all right. Raiders, what do we think? They made some off season or not off season.
Well, they did.
Really did.
They did off-season moves. I don't know. I feel like they kind of got worse. I feel like Jimmy G is just like a more handsome and also more injury-prone version of Derek Carr. Brian Hoyer is their backup. So like when Jimmy G does go down in week 10 or whatever, then you're stuck with Brian Hoyer for the next month or two. And I don't think they're a very good team to begin with.
What about that draft though?
I like the tight end they got in the second round, Michael Mayer.
Yep.
Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. And then Tyree Wilson in the first.
Yep.
Got an edge rusher there.
Tyree Wilson's a little raw for me. I'm not sold on him yet, but he should be good.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Byron Young, tackle out of Alabama, I thought was a good pick. Trey Tucker out of wide receiver. He's a fast receiver. I think the Raiders. Oh yeah, they also got Christopher Smith, a safety from Georgia, from that great Bulldog defense, right? I think that the Raiders did fine. I don't think they did enough to compete in their division, but I could see them. Listen, if they were in an easier division, I could see them maybe winning it.
Yeah.
If they were in one of the southern ones.
Right. But the problem is you're facing the Chiefs twice a year, the Chargers twice a year, and I think maybe a Broncos team that's actually decent, have competent twice a year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends.
That's 6 losses right there. I mean, you're already in the pit. So I don't think they do good.
Yeah.
Give me 7 though. Give me 7 wins.
7? I'm gonna go 6-11 again for them, and honestly, I don't think they're gonna be that great until Josh McDaniels out of there, because I don't like Josh McDaniels, the head coach.
I'm gonna say they win 4 games.
Yeah.
Ooh, zesty. What about them Chargers?
Oh, the Chargers.
Paper Bowl winners every year.
They're gonna do their normal thing, shock the world, and say they won the Super Bowl because they beat the Chiefs at some point during the year
in week 3.
You're right, and then they're gonna lose first round of the playoffs because that's what they do every year. No, but for reals, I don't think they did a whole lot. They got Eric Kendricks from the Vikings, a decent linebacker. But besides that, they didn't really do a whole lot in their offseason to address at least what I thought some of their glaring needs were, which were defense.
Mm-hmm.
Into the first round, they went Quentin Johnston with their first pick from TCU.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was fine. I thought that was a fine move. But to me, you needed more defensive players. And that's the reason why you lost. You were up 20, what was it, 27-0?
27-0.
Against the Jaguars?
Yep.
That's on your defense. Sorry.
Yeah. And on the Hall of Fame bound quarterback that dropped 4 touchdowns on your team.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence just slinging that ball. Just absolute legend.
They went 10-7 last year. What do you think they do this year?
I think they do less. They lost Austin Eckler, who was their.
No, he's still there.
Did they?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, shoot.
It sounds like it's going to be his last year there.
Yeah. Will he be playing though?
Yeah, he might hold out.
They might lose him. Yeah, you never know.
They could. Yeah.
Oh shoot! I totally thought they lost him. That's my fault.
He's still chilling there.
All right. Well, yeah. I still think they don't do as good as they did this year because I want to say that, and I think they win 9 games instead of 10.
I'm kind of gonna go how you did. I'm gonna just one up it though. I'll go 11-6.
Really?
I'll split the difference.
10-7.
To me, they're the same team every single year. 10-7.
Yeah.
I'll give them 10-7. They'll tie the Broncos for second in the division.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
and we all know who's first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way you guys,
How
we
about
all
those-
know.
How about
who's
those Chiefs?
first?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't make it to the Super Bowl. Honestly,
I mean, it's a very tough AFC though.
it's a very tough AFC, but they made it out with 14 wins last year,
Right.
and they had
Without Tyreek Hill.
losing Tyreek Hill. They got better. They have the best tight end in the league, the best quarterback in the league. Apparently, their defense is good. Apparently, their offense is like their offensive line was good too. And it's like, man, what the heck? Like,
They
come
got
on.
Jawan Taylor, tackle from the Jaguars. So that was a big move. I look at their draft and I go, I don't know anybody on this draft. Like, I didn't scout a single one of these players. However, I can't give it less than a B because I know every single year the Chiefs pull out great players who perform for them and get them to the Super Bowl every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'd like to give them a bad grade, but I can't because they're the Chiefs.
Yeah, this wide receiver, Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice, whatever that is.
He was a third, fourth rounder at best.
Yeah, but he's going to be getting 1,000 yards,
Probably.
because Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball to him. So it doesn't really matter if he's, brick hands or anything. It's like he's going to do good, I think, regardless. And I think these Chiefs are probably going to still be a 13-14 win team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No reason to think they're really going to do worse. I mean, yeah, they might drop one game
Yeah, it happens
to last year, but yeah, I think they'll definitely take this division easily with like 13 or 14 wins.
I think they'll win 12.
Yeah?
I think they'll have 12 wins. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, but I don't disagree.
They're still the Chiefs.
They're still the Chiefs. They'll still win their division. They'll still steamroll teams that they should and probably beat the teams that they probably shouldn't in some areas. So, yeah.
Sad moment.
Sad cries and Bills.
Cries and Bills and Bengals, too.
And Bengals, yeah.
Bengals when it matters.
And they did come back against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, too. So,
Yep.
it wasn't just AFC teams there.
Yeah, they kind of just – Patrick Mahomes is just – he's him, and that's not debatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, he is.
If he stays like this, like for another 10 years, if he's like this, there's a definite GOAT debate there, and that's kind of –
I just don't see a team having this much success for this long without someone standing in their way.
Mm-hmm.
In every story of good versus evil, you need the counterbalance, right? You need someone else, right?
Brady and Peyton.
Brady. You had a Peyton Manning to Brady. You had a Drew Brees to, also Tom Brady. Yeah, you had those quarterbacks that could compete against him and win.
I think that's Josh Allen and Joe
Burrow.
You want to talk about the Bills?
Let's go to the East.
Let's go to the East. Let's go to the Bills.
What do you think, Mr. Bills fan?
I wasn't paying too much attention to the draft, but I know we got that tight end, and he was really good. Let me look at what happened.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yep.
Dalton Kincaid, yeah.
That's a good tight end duo between him and Knox.
Yeah, and we got another wide receiver in the 5th, and we got a guard out of Florida, and I don't know. I mean, we're a good team, and we just drafted some people who were good in college and would be good, and then we'll still lose to Patrick Mahomes, and it doesn't matter.
I think you guys had one of the best drafts out of all the teams. Dalton Kincaid is a steal at pick 25.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, he's a top 10 prospect. A lot of people had him that high. Osiris Torrance should have gone first round. You got him
late
second.
Late second round.
Crazy.
And he should have gone, people were saying, he's a late first rounder. Great value. Phenomenal value. You guys picked up a linebacker, and then don't underestimate this. You guys re-signed Jordan Poyer. You got some Matt Milano. You got some guys back. You got Connor McGovern from the Cowboys. All-pro guard to protect Josh Allen. Big move there. You also got Damian Harris, running back from the Patriots, as well. So you upgraded your running back room, which you kind of needed to do. I think the Bills did really well in both the offseason and free agency.
We picked up another running back, didn't we? He played for the
Latavius Murray.
Murray.
Yeah.
We also grabbed Latavius Murray, which I don't know about that. He's kind of old, but
He was solid for Denver last year.
so yeah, we'll see.
That's a good backfield, I would say.
Good backfield. I think we're gonna have a really good
James
run
Cook.
game this year, especially with Josh Allen being able to just pick up and go.
With him getting his 700 yards a season.
Yeah, adding 2 guards with our draft, and then you said we picked up another one. It's more protection for Allen and get
Right.
more yards and more protection for those new running backs, and we held on the Singletary walked, right?
I think he went to the Patriots.
Yeah, we have.
You got a better back from the Patriots team first anyways.
Yeah.
So you still win that. Yeah.
So we're chilling. I mean, I can definitely see a 13-win season again, and then losing in the playoffs.
I'm gonna say 14-3.
14-3.
Top seed in the AFC. Why not?
Yeah, I like it. 14-3. Let's go 17-0. Why not?
I'll say 13-4. I think they'll get second seed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the three best teams in the whole league are the Bengals, the Bills, and the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah.
And they're going to be probably 1, 2, and 3 seed. So you choose the order, I guess. If Mahomes, chokes a couple games, it'll be Burrow, and if he doesn't do it, it's Allen. If Allen picks it up, it's whatever. So I think it could go to any three of them. I do think they're going to be second, and 13-4 there. Miami.
Yeah, Miami's not
Everyone's
just gonna
hype by Miami.
They're not just gonna give the division to Buffalo. I think
Miami.
I think they were already a very good team. Made the playoffs last year. Probably would have been better than 9-8, especially if like Tua had been able to stay healthy.
Yeah, sure, man.
And I think they got better in the offseason. They traded for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, they did. They got Braxton Berrios, wide receiver from the Jets.
Yep.
They got a linebacker from the Titans and David Long. They got their backup quarterback Mike White from the Jets as well. They re-signed their whole running back room was re-signed. They got Mostert back, they got Jeff Wilson back, and they got Gaskin back.
And they still might trade for Dalvin Cook.
Right.
There's rumors about that going on right now.
Remember, they also got Bradley Chubb last season.
Yep.
Who didn't play a whole lot, but he spending a whole year with the team in the offseason should help.
They got Vic Fangio as their DC now too.
They drafted
right there.
They drafted probably a starter running back from Texas A&M, Devin Aiken, in the third round. They got a great corner in Cam Smith as well in the second round. And then of course you never sleep on Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Fastest offense in the league,
That's right.
especially with Mostert. That's if you have Mostert, who's your speed guy for running back, and their running back that they drafted for power or for whatever goal line, that could be scary. That could be dangerous. That could be threatening the Bills, and that's kind of scary to me. So, I think they're going to be a good team. I think probably the fifth seed. I don't really see anyone taking the fifth seed from them. I mean, you had the Chargers at 10-7, or I guess you had Denver at 10-7.
I had them both at 10-7.
So I mean, that could be whatever. But I think they do go 10-7, or maybe even 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say 11-6.
I'm gonna say 9-8 again.
9-8 again.
9-8. Okay. Patriots.
New England Patriots.
Bad.
They're definitely there.
Yeah.
They're definitely there.
They are one of the teams in the NFL, and that's a bummer for their fans.
Yep, still rocking with Mac Jones going into year 3 now as the quarterback, and it feels like we know who Mac Jones is at this point. He's
not a starter.
No, I'd say he's a starter. He's solid, but he's like a less good Kirk Cousins. He'll win you some games, but he's not a star.
So they got a lot of players. They had some great additions. The problem is I'm not sure how good a quality these additions are. They got a tight end. They got Mike Gesicki. Well, how good really was he in Miami?
Not that good.
They got Riley Rife, starting tackle from the Bears. How good was he on the Bears? Like
yeah, he was.
Look
on
at the Bears' offensive line.
They got
year.
running back James Robinson, who was on the Jaguars and went to the Jets midway through last season. They now have him on their running back roster. How good is he? How good is he going to be? So I guess my point is the Patriots did stuff. It's not like they didn't do anything. They did a bunch of stuff. And when you look at their draft, I actually really like their draft. They stole Christian Gonzalez.
Yep, that's one of the steals of the draft.
That him sliding to pick 17, I don't know how
trading
they did
back
that.
and still getting him.
Wow. And I love Keon White, that edge rusher from Georgia Tech in the second round. I think they had a great draft. I'm looking at them and I'm going, Mac Jones, and then a bunch of, I feel like it's the New England Misfits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bunch of kids and Mac Jones, who's a kid.
It's the New England, I'm not going to even call them the Patriots until I can see Bill Belichick come back to to what he once was. They're the misfits. They're the New England misfits because they don't they have not proven to me that they can beat the Bills. They haven't proven to me that they can even beat the Dolphins. And quite frankly, with the Jets doing what they did this offseason, we'll talk about them in a second, Patriots get dead last in that division.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, there's no way that they do get out.
You got Mac Jones working with Ramondre Stevenson, James Robinson, Ty Montgomery, Juju Smith-Schuster, Devonta Parker, like Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki is the best weapon he's got there, him and Hunter Henry. And other than that, it's like you said, even then, that's just the New England misfits.
Yeah, they built a core that looks like it could maybe work on paper, but it doesn't. And I see the corner that they got. I'm glad they got Christian Gonzalez, but they didn't really need a corner. They already have a great defense.
Yeah.
What they needed was offensive line, and they didn't address that until round 4.
Yeah, they didn't really address offense at all until late in the draft.
And that's the New England Patriot way.
Mm-hmm.
And fine, it might be, but that's not what's going to win you a Super Bowl. I think we've seen that the last few seasons.
I think Belichick's going to stick around until he gets that win record and he's gone. I think he's sick of this.
Probably.
Old dude with all these young guys and just winning, 8 games is just, I bet it's discouraging and a bummer, but I think he's going to stick around for 3-4 more years.
7-10.
7-10? I don't even think that. I'm gonna go 6-11.
They still got a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, I think their defense,
I think is going to carry them to some wins.
I think their defense keeps them in some games. I'm just going to say the same record as last year in 8-9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You had them with 6 wins?
Yeah, 6 wins. Jets.
How about those New York Jets?
How about them? Tell us about them, Banana.
Well, they had a very good roster last year. One of the best defenses in the league.
Got 7 wins.
They had
with Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm. They had the offensive and defensive rookie of the year, and they would have had someone else be the offensive rookie of the year if Hall didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So
he's not hurt this year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. So they've got a lot of good young talent, but it all fell apart when Zach Wilson didn't develop at all after his rookie year. Said some things he probably shouldn't have in the media and whatnot. It, turned everybody against him, and then he just sucked at quarterback also, which didn't help his case. And so then they go out, basically give up a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. Will that be the missing piece for them?
No.
No, it won't. I think that
okay, on to the Jags.
I don't think, to me, when I see this move, I see Brett Favre all over again with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Brett Favre all over again. Anybody want to say anybody want to guess the record that Brett Favre had with the Jets? Is exactly right. It was 9-7. I think they go 9-8. I think the Jets go 9-8. I don't think they're going to do nearly as well as they think they are going to. I think they have a talented roster too, but I don't see Aaron Rodgers helping the organization. I see it as a hindrance.
And they're definitely not getting first in the division, so they're fighting for that wild card.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, they're drowning with like an 80-pound backpack on. It's hard for them to. I'd be surprised if they made it into the playoffs.
Big backpack.
And I guess that's my question: is if it came down to a game between like the Chargers and the Jets at last game of the season, who are you taking?
The Chargers are going to choke, and you know that. I mean, that's their thing.
Well, so's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That's the point. That's the point. It's just like you're probably going to take the Chargers. I would. If it came down between the Broncos and the Jets, I understand why people would take Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking the coach over the quarterback.
Yeah.
I am personally.
You're high on the Broncos.
I'm high on Sean Payton.
Okay.
And he's low on the Jets.
I'm low on because I don't love their coach, and Robert Saleh, I don't love him. And I think Aaron Rodgers is. I don't think he's going to help.
But I really like some of their pieces though. Offense, defensive rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who would have been offensive rookie.
And they
of
have
the
a
year.
phenomenal defensive line. They addressed it in the draft too, and Will McDonald. They have Solomon Thomas. They have Quinnen Williams. Yeah, they got a good defense.
Yeah, good for them.
I'm gonna go 10-7. Just one up on you.
I'm agree with David. It's 9 wins, I think.
Remember, they went 7-10 last season.
with Zach Wilson and Mike White.
Right.
So,
So
Zach
how
Wilson-
much?
it's definitely still an upgrade. It's just, are you getting the MVP?
Right.
You're not getting. I mean, he played for his team that he'd been playing for years, and
18
he
of
got
them.
8 wins. And so, like, how much better do you think he'll do with a couple of second years and a bunch of rookies? Like, I think he will do better because Garrett Wilson's a better receiver than what's his name?
Christian Watson,
Christian Watson and the other guy.
Dobbs.
Yeah, and he has some better offensive weapons and so some good defense. But I don't think he plays well enough to get them even into the playoffs. Jacksonville, somebody who will, I think, be making a playoff run.
With relative ease, in my opinion, at least making it to the playoffs.
Definitely to the playoffs. I think they're gonna still be the best team in this division.
Mm-hmm.
They have the best quarterback in this division by a lot, which is Trevor Lawrence being the best quarterback. That's kind of goofy, but I mean he's developed since what was that coach's name? The terrible
Urban
coach.
Meyer?
Yeah,
Urban
he was
Meyer?
doing all sorts of wacky stuff and being a terrible coach and.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. So he's gone now, and they have a winning record, and
And a much better head coach.
a much better head coach who can develop. I think he can develop Trevor Lawrence there and get some get some wins under their belt. I think I'm not going to talk too much about their draft because I don't really know. And
Their biggest need was tackle, and they addressed it with their first pick.
Good stuff.
That's what they do, and that's what they did throughout this whole draft. They needed a tight end, got it with their second pick. They needed a running back, they got it with their third pick. They needed they just got what they needed, and they're great players. I'm looking at them right now. I'm not the biggest fan of Brenton Strange, tight end from Penn State, but I'm looking at some of their other picks. They're easily getting first in their division. Remember, they only went 9-8 last season. They only went 9-8 and they won. What do you
I think they get 10 or 11. I'll be optimistic. Give them 11 wins.
Yeah.
Give them 11 wins.
I am actually going to take back what I said about the Bills earlier. One of my way too early hot takes, and I'm just going to keep riding this, that I had a couple months ago was Jags 14-3 1 seed.
Could see it.
Stop the cap.
Could see it.
Then they go one and done in the playoffs. But
Trevor Lawrence, if he plays elite, easily. You could see it.
Yeah.
Look at their division.
Well,
He's going to win all of them.
Calvin Ridley's there too.
Yep. Like there are offseason additions. Absolutely. I'm not going to go that high,
Yeah.
but I will say that I'll say 11 win. I'll say they'll win 11 games.
I cannot see them being anything higher than the 4 seed. Like, I can't see it. It's just there's 3 teams, 4 teams that are just 5 teams even. The Ravens. I mean, I think those teams are all better with all better quarterbacks, and they'll be above
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
And I think part of it is I am banking on Trevor Lawrence's potential.
And we talked about teams like the Eagles and the Bengals that gave the Chiefs the run for their money in the playoffs. Are we forgetting that the Jaguars did the same thing in their game?
Jags played them. That was what, a 7-point game at the end?
I mean, you're right.
27.
It's a thought. I mean, they were down 27-0 against the Chargers in their first game, but they did come back. So it's
They got 27 points and a half. And,
we'll see. We'll see how the Jaguars do.
but that's the thing, though. They were down 27 points, but they got it back.
They came back from it, though. That's what
They
matters.
came back is the point that matters, but it also matters that they were down that much. Because if you're down that much, you can still come back a lot and still lose. Because if the Chargers had scored one more touchdown or even a field goal, it's over. You can't. So that's why I'm saying, and I still think they do good. 11 wins is a good, it's a good season, but I don't think they get that 14-win season like you're talking about. Personally, I mean, we could both be wrong, but
We're all wrong. The NFL is wildly unpredictable.
Yeah.
They could go 16-1.
Falcons are winning the Super Bowl this year, guys.
Stop.
Break team.
Desmond Ritter's MVP.
No. Tennessee Titans.
The Titans.
What is it?
Boy.
The Titans.
They were
Because-
7-10 last season.
They were.
In the draft, they got Peter Skoronski with their first pick. Then they got Will Levis in the second round.
Those are 2 solid picks, I'd say.
I think Will Levis, he definitely shouldn't have fallen that far, but Tennessee's happy to take him, I'm sure. I mean, they have somebody who's serviceable now, I'm sure. And and he's a quarterback that they can build from the ground up instead of having these old washed up guys just come in for a season or a couple of games and just, play mediocre and hand the ball off to Derrick Henry.
It seems like the Titans are gearing up. I hate to say it. It seems like they're gearing up to tank.
Yeah.
I think they want Caleb Williams.
This looks like a rebuild. See, I almost feel like they're too good to get Caleb Williams. Like they're gonna win only like 4 or 5 games, which is not going to be enough to get them that top pick.
Will Levis will be put in, and he'll be like, nope, I'm not going to, I will not be bested, and they're going to win 5 games down the stretch or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Will Levis just pops off. They win 10 games.
Yeah.
Like, dang it, we got a good quarterback. That's not what we wanted.
Good for them. I don't know.
We'll see what happens with, like, Derrick Henry. All offseason, people are going to just keep talking about him maybe getting traded, all the way up till the trade deadline even.
I'm hoping he goes to the Bills. I
still really like that match there.
That's a great match.
Yeah, those 2 giant dudes in the backfield ready to run the ball. You got Josh Allen.
That read option is going to be scary.
Josh Allen jumping people and Derrick Henry flattening them. I mean, Derrick Henry flattening people in front of Josh Allen while he goes out blocking for him. Crazy. He'd get 1,000 yards rushing. I mean,
they both would.
They probably both would.
They both would each. I'm going to say 5-12 Titans.
5-12.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 5-12.
I agree. Just because you both said it, and I don't want to be by myself. So I think that's pretty close to what it probably will be, though. Colts. What do you think?
Indianapolis Colts. I like what they did in the draft. As the off season and the draft went on, the hype for the draft went on. The more I liked Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be that guy for Indianapolis. And I think at the absolute worst of the season, they're going to be one of the best running teams in the league between him and Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Because even if Anthony Richardson can't throw very well as a rookie or even in a second season, that boy can run. And I think at the absolute worst, you get what Justin Fields was last year. So
and that's not great,
too
but
bad. 1,200 yards rushing for a QB? Yes, please.
1,200 yards rushing for a running back.
You get a bigger version of Justin Fields.
Facts. Get it done, I guess.
And he's got more of a cannon. He's got a bigger arm.
I think they did well in the draft. I like Josh Downs in the 3rd round, wide receiver from North Carolina.
I like him with Michael Pittman Jr.
I like that a lot. I like, I can't even say his name, but the tackle from Northwestern should have gone in the 2nd round, and he went in the 4th.
Let's see if we can all pronounce this.
Adetomiwa Adebawore.
I like the enunciation there.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do better than that.
That was really bad. Guys, you could do way better than that.
Oh, man. Let's see how I do. I can't even find this.
Adetomiwa?
Mm-hmm.
Adebawore.
Adebawore with the sack. That sounds about right.
Adebawore kind of sounds baller.
I think they go 6-11.
Adetomanui?
Yeah.
Adetomanui? Adetomanui. Adetomanui.
You know what? 7-10. I think they'll win an extra game. 7-10.
Because of that guy's
I think
name.
Shane Steichen has fun with Anthony Richardson this season.
Yeah, he has fun with that guy's name.
And they have fun with this guy with the name like
with
this.
the weird name.
Yep.
Yeah.
7-10.
I agree with you. I was also going to say 7-10.
I apologize for butchering your name.
And we know you're watching.
Viewer.
I know you're good, and I can't wait to watch you sack a few people this season.
Trevor Lawrence.
Get to him.
Yeah.
The Texans.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I know David has some thoughts on what the Texans did on Thursday.
I do. I don't like it. Listen, Will Anderson. When I came on the podcast a little while ago, Von Miller. That was the comparison that most people were making between Will Anderson. Yeah, between what they think he would be.
Yeah.
I don't think he will be. Von Miller's really, really good. I don't think he's going to be that good. I like Will Anderson. I'm not saying I don't. But selling the farm and your future for him?
If you're going to do that, you want a Von Miller, you want a Myles Garrett, a TJ Watt.
And don't tell me that you did it for CJ Stroud. You didn't do it for CJ Stroud. You had that 2nd pick. You were going to take him regardless. I think the 2nd pick getting CJ Stroud, that was a little unfortunate. You wanted Bryce Young. You didn't get Bryce Young. So you had to go with the 2nd best quarterback in the draft. That might not be might not have that high of an IQ, as we're finding.
I don't think it was IQ. It was like
decision making or something like that.
and like
but yeah,
quickness or whatever, and he's dumb.
And then you sell the farm to get an edge rusher that it was really so that pick was a D'Amico Ryans pick.
Mm-hmm.
D'Amico Ryans is defensive mind. He wanted control of that pick.
Yep.
So he sold the farm to get him. Even if this guy is as good as Nick Bosa, which would be unbelievably good, it still won't resurrect the Texans franchise. It won't.
That's just one player of the 11 you need on defense.
One of the reasons why Brock Purdy works and Jimmy Garoppolo has worked for the last 4 years. Because it's because of Shanahan. It's because in that offense you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does D'Amico Ryans have that offensive expertise? I don't think so.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no there.
Defensive
Yeah.
boy.
I'm gonna say. I know he came from the Niners, but I'm gonna say no. I don't like what the Texans did because it seemed like they sold their future for Will Anderson.
Yeah, they got some funny names.
Because that might be
too.
a top 5 pick that the Cardinals get for that.
Right.
Cardinals might have 2 picks in the top 3, depending on how it all plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't love what they did at all. I think they now to be fair, they got names like Dalton Schultz in free agency from the Cowboys. They were the ones that got Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
They were the ones that got him. They got Jimmy Ward from the Niners. So there's someone, and they're adding to that from that Niners locker room, right? And they have a few other receivers that they got along the way. I don't think any of those additions are going to get him out of the cellar, though.
Right, like Robert Woods is their current number 1 receiver.
That's right, because they lost Brandon Cooks.
You're right. That's not a good look.
Yeah,
to have
that's not
a 33-year-old Robert Woods who wasn't good last year and tore his ACL the year before.
And if you think that's not a big deal, look at who CJ Stroud was throwing to. He's throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. and Njigba, two easily first rounders.
Oh yeah.
And now he's going from that to a worse wide receiving room than he did in college.
Oh, so much worse.
Which is sad. That's sad. That at your college.
Yeah, when you go from college to NFL and it's a downgrade.
Yeah, it's a downgrade. Yeah, sorry. I think the Texans are fine, but I think they're fine. I think C.J. Stroud was probably the best pick they could have made, but I don't love what they did personally.
5-12.
You want to pronounce that 5th round pick, the linebacker?
Toe.
Sure, there you go. Yeah.
Henry.
I mean, I would just say 2-2, but
Toe.
but it's those hyphens. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. All right, that's
I would agree. By the way, 5-11.
Yeah.
Or 5-12.
5 and whatever. Yeah,
Still
five
getting
and-
used to the extra game.
Last division here. Let's start off with the Browns.
Who's starting at the bottom here? David promised 10 seconds with the Browns. So what do you got?
Oh, geez. Let me find the Browns on my board quickly. It's going to take me 10 seconds to. Okay. They didn't really do.
Steelers.
Fair. They got an offensive lineman that I like, DeJuan Jones from Ohio State in the 4th round. They did a few other things. Not high on the Browns. And apparently there's more allegations coming out against Deshaun Watson.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah. That came out a few days ago.
Oh.
So am I thrilled about what the Browns are going to do? Not really. I think they added a few good players. They got a defensive tackle Dalvin Tomlinson from the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
They got Obo Okoronkwo from the Texans.
That guy.
They also got Jordan Atkinson from him. Or Jordan Akins. Jordan Akins from him.
Just struggling with names today.
I know. But sorry. I as much as I'd like to see the Browns succeed, I think they will be last in their division this year.
3-14.
I'm gonna. You think so?
I think so.
I'm gonna say. I'll say 5-12.
Ooh, I'm gonna go 8-9.
That's probably more realistic.
I'm going a little bit higher. But
Benea's optimistic. I'm pessimistic, and you're probably realistic.
I think Benea might be right there, but I just don't think they're gonna do well in that division and in the AFC. Yeah.
Yeah, that I think this is the toughest division, at least in the AFC.
I probably actually agree with you.
Maybe in the whole of the NFL.
Well, I don't know about that. The East is pretty.
Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going on this.
Let's work our way up.
Yeah. Well, okay. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They had, I think, who should have been the offensive rookie of the year, the best rookie wide receiver, Pickens or Pickett. I can never
Pickens
remember.
is the receiver.
Pickens. Yeah, and they have. I think Pickett could be a good quarterback.
Yep, going into year 2.
And I have no idea what happened in the draft, honestly.
There is so here. Let me put it in perspective for you. There was one team I would have given an A+ because in this draft it was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one team I would give a solid A after an A+ too, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers owned this draft besides the Eagles. They addressed offensive line, Broderick Jones, one of the best tackles in the draft, immediately off the bat. They got Joey Porter Jr. in the second round. I don't know how he slipped there. By the way, that's a match made in heaven.
Yep.
Obviously, for obvious reasons. That's a match made in heaven. They got Darnell Washington, tight end from Georgia. They got possibly one of the most underrated tight ends in the draft.
Oh, yeah, he kept falling, too. He fell right to him.
I don't know how they did that. I think they had a phenomenal draft.
That's that huge guy, right?
Yep.
That's the giant 7 or 6'7" guy.
That's him.
Yeah, went late in the 3rd.
That's crazy. I'm excited to see this offense because he caught that thing like 2-fingered and
him and Pickens out there.
Pickens out
doing
there,
that.
one-handed. It's OBJ 2.0.
And just to remind you, that offensive line battered last year. They went tackle first round. They got Nate Herbig from the Jets as a guard. They signed him. They got Isaac Seumalo, guard from the Eagles as well. They have a new-looking offensive line that's going to be protecting Pickett, going to be giving them a lot of time to throw to Pickens.
Yeah, and they got a guard in the 7th round too.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see this team play. They might be exciting this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you say the record would be?
Shoot, man.
I'm going to say...
It's weird because I don't think that they'll beat the Ravens or the Bengals out. But I could be wrong. I think they could get 10 or 11 wins.
I was going to say 11-6.
And that's kind of scary because like Lamar's back and he has OBJ on his team.
Mm-hmm.
So they could also be getting, well, we'll get into that in a bit, but I think you're right. This could be the scariest division. Like it could be the most difficult division to be in besides the Browns. They're just struggling anyway. But
this is my bold prediction for the year.
Yeah.
13-4.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
Golly.
I have the Steelers owning the AFC this year.
You think they beat the Bengals?
The top seed?
I would have them, maybe not top seed, but I would have them. Well, actually, no, not top seed, but I would. So what did I put the Bills at?
You had them at 13,
Yeah,
and
you
you
had
had the
them at 13,
Chiefs
yes.
at 14, I believe.
No, you had the
I
Chiefs
had
at 12.
12.
And you had
Oh.
the Jags at...
I had the Jags at 11.
At
I haven't
11.
I haven't rated the Bengals yet. I
You haven't
rated
given
the
them a rating
Bengals.
yet. Just saying, and they're same division. I didn't say the Steelers would win their division, but I think. Listen, they're not getting any worse than 9-8 because of they don't have a losing record ever.
Not allowed.
Not allowed to.
Not allowed. You can't have
They
it.
can't do it. I think they just
They're
got so
allergic.
much better. I'm going to give. You know what? Maybe not 13-4. We'll do 12-5. We'll do 12-5.
I'm going to stick with my 11. Yeah, that's tough in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can hug right up to the Bengals maybe. I think they could jump the Ravens.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Ravens?
I think I do.
Let's do
Lamar, the highest paid quarterback ever for 5 seconds.
It's about time he got paid.
And then someone else got paid, but he was the highest paid. for
Mahomes
just a
might be
bit.
already paid by now. By the time this episode's out, who knows?
Yeah, $80 million a year. So
Yep.
They addressed wide receiver first pick. They got Zay Flowers from Boston College.
I don't hate it.
Much needed.
He's a good yards after catch kind of a guy. I think I showed you the highlights
Yeah,
of him.
kind of reminded me of an OBJ
Yeah.
type player.
And that's funny. They have OBJ.
And they have him too. I like their I like somewhat of what they did after that, but I don't know what re-signing Lamar will. I don't know what it'll do. I don't know what it'll do. I know that they got OBJ. I know that they got Lamar back. But here's the facts, guys. We've seen Lamar in this offense for how long? When was the last time they won their division?
Was it 2019 MVP season?
I think it was that year.
It is a new OC in Baltimore, though.
It was the Bengals
So.
after that, really.
Yeah, it was the Steelers, and then it's been the Bengals for the last 2 seasons.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad. What I'm saying is I'm not convinced that, they re-signed Lamar.
Right.
Everything is great under the sun. Listen.
It's been 4 years.
It's been, exactly. And when you look at their additions, besides OBJ, there's not really a whole lot of additions that they made. Like, they didn't make a ton.
Yeah. I mean, they had to keep Lamar, though.
Sure.
They couldn't let him go because, like, who are they taking then? Like, where, like, Lamar goes.
Right, yeah, then you're going into the season with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, and you are the Browns then. Mm-hmm. And, you're fighting for third in your division.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they had to do that, and they had to pay him a lot because, I mean.
Whatever to keep him there,
To keep him there. And I think picking up OBJ is good too because give him some weapons to throw to so he's not running as much and getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I mean, I also think they go 11.
I was also going to say that. 11-6.
9-8.
9-8, really?
Yeah.
You think they go down one having
I don't.
more?
I think all the it took them how long
right?
to re-sign Lamar?
And Lamar's also gotten hurt at the end of the last 2 seasons now.
I just don't think there's a whole lot of I don't see a whole lot of competency in that organization. I don't.
Yeah.
I see. You really want to know what I see? I see an Arizona Cardinals like kind of front office right now.
Ever since Ozzie retired.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly when you
because
could see the change.
They had all the success in 2019. That was almost all Ozzie's roster. That was only 1 year as the new GM.
And you see a complete change after that.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, that's not to say that they're bad. They're not. They're a very talented team. Lamar is an incredible athlete. We know what he can do. But we know what he can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang. All right. Last team on our list here. The
Cincinnati
Bengals.
Cincy.
Oh.
They were in a Super Bowl last year.
2 years ago. Almost went last year.
2 years ago, and they almost went last year. And now they're sitting at the top of their division at 12 wins. And what do you think?
They had one issue. They had one issue in that championship game. They've really had one issue all season long last year. Protect Joe Burrow. Make sure he doesn't get sacked. That was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They, instead of saying, okay, we're going to have to basically take a gamble on some offensive lineman in the draft, they decided to get Orlando Brown from the Chiefs.
Yep.
So, and that was their big offseason signing, and that's a phenomenal signing. That was one of their only signings, I might add. They paid him a lot of money to do it, but it was worth it. And then on top of that, they got Miles Murphy, first round. They went corner, second round. They got a great safety in Jordan Battle, third round. I thought they had a pretty decent draft as well.
There's your Jesse Bates replacement right there.
Mm-hmm. And then of course their young talent. How do you stop Joe? How do you stop Joe Burrow?
Right.
And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Mixon. How do you stop
Tyler
that?
Boyd?
Yeah, I could keep going. They have so much talent.
They have a really, really stacked offense. Mm-hmm. And that receiving room is the best in the NFL, I think. They got a good tight end too, and the only thing they're really missing on offense is, their offensive line is made out of like paper mache.
It's gotten better over the last 2 seasons though.
It's still not good though. I mean, he's still getting sacked a bunch.
Orlando Brown, I think, will help a ton. Not saying it's going to cure everything. I agree with you, but that adding a left tackle, that was their biggest need, and they did that.
Yeah, I think they went 12-4. I think they go 13-4 because they had that one weird game. But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I think they pick it up another game. I don't know who would have won with them or the Bills, but I think they
did beat the Bills in the playoffs. So
yeah, man, that's just kind of what happens to the Bills. That's a bummer. But
once again, I'm going to agree with you with that record, 13-4. I like that.
12-5 because of their division, but I think they win it. They still win the division.
Okay, yeah. So you have them and the Steelers tie-in 12-5.
I think the Bengals will win the tiebreaker though.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a fun division then. And the Browns.
My early gut feeling for AFC team, at least in the Super Bowl, is Cincy.
Yeah, me too.
I like Cincy
Me
going
too.
back.
They can get hot. They're so well coached.
And Joe Burrow's just so good.
They can get hot at the right time and then go on a tear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with like these teams like the Bills. They get hot mid-season, or the Ravens. They get hot early in the year, middle of the year. End of the year, they're slowing down a little bit, whether it's injuries or just in general.
Yeah, the Bills had a lot of injuries, and they lost a bunch of games or
Yeah.
a couple games there.
Yeah.
Buffalo is getting Von Miller back, though.
Yeah, my first seed goes to the Bills. My second seed goes to the
Jags?
I believe it goes to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I still have them winning 12. And then the Bengals are that third. And then it's the Jags at fourth. I have the Steelers getting the fifth seed.
I think I agree with that mostly. Yeah, I think it really could go anywhere with those top three.
For sure.
I think you're right. Jacksonville will be third or fourth. I don't think they can really do much against those three. And I think Miami could be 5. And then the Steelers. And then maybe the Ravens. Like,
I think I had Miami going, 9-8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Chargers and Broncos at my
that's
6 and
right.
7
You
seed.
do.
Yeah.
You have I think the Chargers will probably get in. And I don't know. I mean, you kind of gambling on those Broncos.
It's a new team every year. You got to throw a new team in there.
Yep. Well,
I
what is it, like
suppose.
5 or 6 teams on average?
Yeah,
That didn't make the playoffs the year before make it?
Seahawks did this year, and
Yeah. There's going to be all kinds of wild stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it, really.
Yeah.
Do you have a way too early Super Bowl prediction then, David?
I do, because why not?
Yeah.
I do have the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. I have them getting hot. I don't have them winning it though. I have them losing to the Bengals. I think the Bengals win their first Super Bowl.
That blows. That going back-to-back years and losing.
Yeah.
both.
Losing back-to-back the new Bills.
I just don't see when all the teams are at their absolute best. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yep.
Honestly, because if they're at their absolute best, Bengals are better than the Chiefs. We've seen it. We've seen it multiple times. So
And they got very close this past year.
this past year, I think they should have. I think there were certain things in that game that
Certain
really,
calls that went a certain way.
I wasn't gonna say calls. I think there were other things besides that. I think there were actually certain. I think there were certain other things going on, like injuries and like just certain things were happening throughout the game that was like it feels like the Chiefs. This is their game to win, and it was still close in the end. So
What was it, like 2 or 3 point game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want the Bills to go, man.
Yeah.
I'd
Bills
rather.
versus who?
I don't even care. I just I want them to get out of the.
they need to re-sign their punter,
I don't think he'll come back.
Areza.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd come
I
back.
don't think so.
Yeah, because they.
Well, I don't even know if he's. This is just.
He
Isn't
was
it just
apparently
like
innocent.
apparently? Well,
There's
that's just
no
people
evidence.
talking though. Like,
There's no evidence to claim that he did anything and he had left the event whenever, like hours before whatever a claim to happen was happening, and
Right.
there was witnesses and stuff, and there's actually been no case filed against him.
oh,
So it's just rumors and
Just
stuff.
a weird situation. Maybe you just want to keep your distance anyways.
Yeah.
You can get another
Yeah.
punter somewhere else.
But 85 yards.
Oh,
Gosh dang it, man. Gosh dang it. Anyway,
not sure it would have saved your season last season though. But yeah,
could have punted farther against the Bengals when they kept stopping you.
it would have just given Jamar Chase more yards.
Yeah.
Running down the
stop.
field.
You actually want a bad punter.
Our defense is good. It's okay. We'll give Von Miller back.
Hey, I have the Bills as my first seed. Okay.
Yeah, and losing the first round. So.
I didn't say they would lose first round. I just said that
Oh,
they would.
AFC Championship, they lose. So I'm coming to terms with it now.
You guys haven't been to the AFC Championship yet.
No, they did in 2020.
Did
Yeah, because they lost. That's when,
2020?
yep, that's when the Chiefs beat them.
And then the year after, the Chiefs beat us right before that.
Because then the
Bill-
Chiefs lost to the Bucks.
I thought that was the Browns that made it to the AFC Championship game that year.
Nope.
2020.
No, because they lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round. Because remember when Chad Henne had to come into the game?
That was Chad Henne.
Yep.
I thought that was the championship.
No, that was a
game.
divisional round game.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, the Browns put up a fight during that.
Oh, yeah, I was
remember
rooting for them hard.
that. Yeah.
In that case, like, if they pull that off,
I don't remember that championship.
then the
game, in all
Bills
honesty.
probably beat the Browns,
Probably.
and then they go and probably lose to the Bucks.
I think the Bills, like at their best, I think they can compete with Cincy's best.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We haven't seen it though, and I want to see it because I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. I just want to see them hot because it feels like last year they were almost robbed. Everything that happened on the team with Damar Hamlin and like that whole situation, it just felt like that the Bills were kind of robbed of their confidence going into the postseason, and they just kind of folded.
Because they almost lost to Miami.
Right. Like it was just kind of like
Skylar Thompson.
Really, but I think that was a weird set of circumstances. I agree. I think their first seed. I think they're a Super Bowl contender still, easily.
They always are, and then they aren't.
We'll
after
see.
They get
We'll
beat.
see.
So I mean, it's
We'll see.
I mean, that's what my life was for a while. So
Mine too.
all right. Well, hey, thank you for watching, David. Thank you for coming back on.
Of course.
oh, yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
He is unfortunately going to be moving away, but we'll have him on at least one more time in the off season.
We'll do it
via Discord, and then we'll have him on during the regular season too, because
100%. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
probably around Super Bowl time as well, and yeah, just David will be coming back.
He will. We will force him to.
Yeah. He doesn't like.
You heard it from them. They are forcing me to come back.
Yep,
So
he has to.
with
I
a
won't-
smile on his face.
I won't complain. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye bye.